Rachel here from theconfusedmillennial.com, and I'm really excited because I'm going to do a little nursery tour today. So let's jump in. Alright, I'm here in the nursery. Keep in mind this room is really small, which is why we're converting it to an office, but it's perfect for that time, between 0 and 6 months. We decided to move our daughter out of our bedroom at around 2 months. She is a very noisy sleeper, and honestly, she just kept waking us up, but she would be completely asleep. And so we decided to move her in here. We share that wall with her, and we have a baby monitor, so if she does need anything, we can hear her, we'll get up. But for just like those random middle of the night noises, we get to sleep through, thank goodness. So first things first, this wall. So I knew that Reagan's middle name was going to be Moon, obviously, before we announced her. And we had come and seen this house out of when I was 38 weeks pregnant. This was the only room not featured online. I think it's because it's so small, it's a little bit hard to shoot, and they actually had their little boy in here. And as soon as I saw this wallpaper, it felt like she was telling us to buy this house. This was our future. This was the wallpaper I really had wanted to put up. So we have the wonderful wallpaper, and I had always, I had bought these, Live by the Sun, Love by the Moon, off of Amazon's handmade section, and I had always pictured these in her room or above our bed, and they really worked in here, so I was super happy about that. So this is where she sleeps. It's called the Snoo. It was designed by Dr. Harvey Karp, the author of The Happiest Baby on the Block. It is a smart bassinet that basically replicates the sounds from the womb and the movement. So you have to use a specific swaddle with it, otherwise it won't turn on. It's really safe. Highly recommend. If you guys want me to do a video about it, just let me know. With this bad boy, she was sleeping 8 hours a night by 8 weeks and has been sleeping about 12 hours a night pretty much since 12 weeks. And we are massive fans. All my friends that have had it, all their babies did 8 hours by 8 weeks. I know not every baby is the same, but from everyone I've actually spoken to that has had it, we've all had great results. I decided not to put a glider in here, so we just have a little chair. Reason being because I primarily nurse her in bed, not in here. Secondly, because we don't need to sit there rocking her. The Snoo rocks her, where we just needed somewhere quickly to sit to hold a pacifier in her mouth to get her to go to sleep. And this room, again, is really small, where a glider, the previous owners had a crib, a full dresser, and a glider in here, and it felt very claustrophobic to the point where I actually called this room the closet, because I didn't think that you could actually put anything in here or make it a usable space until, of course, we got the right size fitting furniture. So I decided to skip out on the glider for that reason. Instead, because we are converting this to the office, what I did was I got a sit-to-stand desk from IKEA. I love this thing. And what I did was I set it up as a changing table. We have the hatch as our changing pad, which I highly recommend. It is a changing pad and also a scale. So if you are breastfeeding, it allows you to do weighted feedings from home with like a 20% off coupon. It's like $100. So it ends up coming out to be about the same cost if you were to buy a changing pad, which usually those cost $20 to $40. Then you need to get sheets, which is another 20 bucks, and then pee pads, which is like another 10 bucks. And then if you get a changing pad tray, that can be anywhere from, you know, $40 to $200. I was like, I really like that this is just like a one and done solution. It's easy, and also I can do weighted feedings whenever I want it. Over here we have a little diaper caddy I got from Amazon. I'll link it below. Diapers, wipes, hand sanitizer. And then I decided to kind of like style it since we're in here. So we have some selenite, which is like liquid light. It's a crystal. This was a gift from somebody.
Hello, baby. Peekaboo is the most fun with you. Where'd you go, Peekaboo?
This was a DIY project I did. The frame was that somebody gifted to us, and I couldn't find anything I loved to go in it. So I got some black poster board, white poster board, pink poster board, kind of did some cutouts, and then I got some gold foil for the edges. If you guys want to see a DIY of that, I did take video throughout it. I learned a lot of mistakes along the way, but let me know in the comments if you do want me to post that DIY. So these are the IKEA spice racks. We decided to go with them as bookcases. Funny enough, again, the previous owners had their own baby. This is actually what they had there too. So all of the measuring and screws were already set up for me, which made it really simple. And these are my absolute favorite stuffed animals for her. They are called the Cuddle and Kind dolls. For every doll you buy, you get a child in need gets 10 meals. Highly, if you are looking for a gift. They're super soft. I was nervous about like how soft they'd be. They are all hand stitched by women in Peru. They come with these little cards. I cannot recommend these dolls enough. Again, for every one doll equals 10 meals to a child in need. I decided to do layered rugs. Initially we had one big rug in the middle. It kind of just broke up the room a little bit too much. So I did 2 layered rugs here. Well, I technically did 3 because those are 2 IKEA. And I did the layered rugs over here. And I really kind of like the look that it turned out to be. We got these curtains from Target. So this is what they had for the closet in here. There is a wall here. Where am I? There you go. There is a wall here, but they didn't put a door on it and there is no curtain on it. I decided not to get the curtain because again, we are gonna be switching this to an office once baby is 6 months and out of the SNU. She'll be going to her big girl room, her forever room. Right now we just liked how close this was to our room and also because I already had the wallpaper here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a set of drawers that fit into that space that we could later on use for a filing cabinet. So again, I got these drawers from IKEA. They fit really great into a small space. I just measured it and that way again, this room is pretty small. I could have put drawers right here. In fact, we had the drawers right there for a little while. It just felt very claustrophobic. In fact, that bench usually isn't there. I just thought it looked a little empty. Also, the pictures are kind of like far spaced apart. I got those pictures back from my therapist days. The previous owners had a full gallery wall here, and rather than putting more holes into the wall, because I knew this was a temporary setup, I just used the existing nails. So these are a little bit further apart than I would have liked, but for styling purposes, I think it looks pretty cute. Now, over to her closet. Again, there's no door, there's no hanger. What I did was I got a hanging shoe rack. This is pretty much everything she uses on the regular. We have our half kimonos and white onesies, her nightgowns, onesies, bibs, more nightgowns, headbands. I don't know what those are, to be completely honest. Cloths, fancier clothes, sheets, burp cloths, more sheets, more bibs. And then we have regular use swaddles and blankets up there. And then these are the Love Every play kits. So we got them all the way up until she's a year old. These are awesome. I will link them below. Love Every is a company that creates, has a play gym and play kits that meet your child where they're developmentally at. And they are just, we're a big fan of them. It allows us to only get toys in our home that really make sense with where she's at rather than just having a bunch of crap around. We have baby monitor here. This is what we use as a nightlight, a salt lamp. It allows a nice pink light rather than a blue light that can mess up the melatonin production in REM cycle. And it also allows us to not be stumbling through in the dark each night. So the last thing I want to bring up is actually above her SNU. Up here, we have our little evil eye. Again, the previous owners, this is where they had the crib before. And so they had that there for a mobile. I wanted to skip the mobile over her crib. I found that the wallpaper alone was distracting enough for her. And so what I did instead was my stepmom had sent me that evil eye for protection from grease, and I thought it was the perfect place to go above her bed, make sure that she was being looked over, protected, all that good stuff. So we skipped the mobile because I've just heard that they can be really distracting when babies are trying to fall asleep. and I didn't find any mobiles I really loved, to be honest. So not super traditional here with like no mobile, no glider. I found that even the wallpaper alone when we first moved her in was really distracting. She was constantly staring at it. So if your baby is having a hard time falling asleep, keep that in mind. One other thing about sleep and baby, while we do have our super cute Target curtains up that are light filtering, those are gonna be the curtains that are up 100% of the time when this room is an office. But to be completely honest, we do have blackout curtains that are actually typically up. They obviously just didn't look great for the video. So I took those down, swapped those out, and then, yeah, I guess those are kind of the hacks. Hanging shoe rack instead of like full set of drawers, and like having, if you do want to organize your drawers, we don't have anything really in our drawers currently, because again, that's going to be for the office really later on. And we just kind of have like spare future clothing in there for her. You can always get little baskets that would keep your drawers organized. The IKEA Spice Rack bookshelf is a highly recommend for me. And then don't be afraid to DIY some art for your baby's room. I think that was probably one of my favorite things to work on. It just allowed a very personal touch. It allowed me to pour some love into different things. And speaking of pouring love into things, that's also why I love the Cuddle and Kind dolls, because you can really feel the love in each stitch that the artisans are doing with it, rather than just some chain manufacturing type of mass-produced stuffed animals. Anything that really is hands-on and you can actually like pour love into and set that intention. Going to a baby's room, I think, is always really special. All right, somebody wanted to come and say hi. So hi, Reagan Moon, hello world. We're here in her nursery that we just showed you guys. So if you guys want to see that DOI of the eye photo, just let me know. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. She's perfect, and I'm just praying she won't sit up for this. So with that, we are out.